All right, and we are live. Welcome to. Well, actually, we're not live. I don't live with this one. I just record. Well, we're kind of alive. We're alive, but we're not live. How's that
We're
sound?
alive.
Yeah, or that Eddie Vedder song too. Um, just I was just trying to get Paul to do an Eddie Vedder impression real quick. There we go.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. It's been a while. It's been a minute. I think it's been a month since we played,
It
which
has.
is
Yep.
Yep.
always super fun. But let's do our best to go through this. So
Previously on.
yeah. Well, there's good news in that we don't have to focus too much on like what's next because that's a little more straightforward and it doesn't involve a lot of these names that we've built up over time. Um, I will admit I don't remember who's going where. So instead of reviewing that and trying to make a memory of who is coming with you, I think you guys get to re-decide who's coming with you on this one.
Oh,
Because there are some options, right?
that's
And
fair.
let me see if I can find one with enough of the icons. This one looks good-ish. So if we start to pull you guys together, Gwyn, Corin, and Kian, you're gonna go travel to the mainland, to the realm of Rome. Not entirely, but the westernmost province uh, of Brittany, which is kind of not a
Brittany.
province, but it's part of it's part of Gaul. It's complicated, but it does have its own sovereignty and stuff there. There's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about, just about the general history of things. So, about a decade before we started this game, the last Roman legion left. Okay, and when they left, they like that was sort of the catalyst already for a number of Britons fleeing the mainland, and so they fled to Brittany, and that would have been for a lot of the people in like closer to the water. They might have chose to do that. I think for you guys, the Cornovii had very little migration because of where you are. It would have been just as complicated to pack up and leave as it would have been to stay, right? And double in. So that's why most of the Cornovii were not affected by that. So you are going to retrieve your granny, who has lands in Brittany. That is your mother's homeland. Was on the mainland, and you know that the other people, the Domnoni of Brittany, are the people that took them. So your granny's people, they're called the Vientris. They are kind of in southern Brittany, and the people that the family that apparently had something to do with this was part of the Domnoni tribe. So you're getting into intertribal conflict probably that you're going to be navigating. You don't know who it is. You just know that there are claimants that the Domnoni were behind it. That's as much as you know at the start of this.
Mm.
So, who do you want to take along with you? Gwyn, Kian, and Corin have decided to deal with this matter of ransom by rolling up to the door, Jane Silent Bob style, and dealing with it directly. Who do you want to bring with you from your family? You have your mother, you have your diplomatic sister Dinwyn, you have your bull-headed warrior sister Arianwen, you have your vassals Griff of House Griff and Amhar of House Amhar. You have your annoying younger brother Tarrant. You have your Jon Snow, according to his roles, anyways. Brother, I think Hywel was his name. Hywel.
The half brother.
Yeah. He's your bastard brother. You also have what are their names? Darren and Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Could go. So the only things you need to think about are the stewardship, management, and care of your 2 holdings right now, which are the House of Kian and your little hill fort that you've claimed that Mad Dog and Darren currently act as stewards over, or guardians over, maybe.
So my main thought would be to take Mad Dog and our half brother and Aryan Wen.
All the fighters.
As far as like warriors,
Yeah.
and maybe have like pull some foot soldiers too, but not too much. And then have our mother and diplomatic sister kind of run House Kian while we're gone.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, because we also have to. We're leaving all of our holdings behind, so we don't want to leave too.
And my thought was to leave Darren at the fort, but we might be able to pull him too because he might not be too happy about being left behind.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Works for me.
Yeah, I think definitely like we need to bring our heavy hitters because we don't know what we're walking into. Like
Yeah, exactly.
This is a rescue mission, so like.
Sorry, guys, I was super muted for that whole thing. I was giving feedback. No, that all makes sense. So we have a confirmation that Margaret and Dinwin are staying behind to look after things. You've got Aryan Wynn for sure coming with, and you've got Mad Dog coming with, and your brother, your half brother, Heel, which I need to find what map I have him on. So Halwyn was his name. There we go. What about Marianus?
Yeah, the Roman, he was coming with us too because he's kind of navigated this sort of like boat crossing stuff before.
Yep. What about I think the only one left to verify is Hannah. Are you having Hannah stay behind?
We could. Like,
an
we
interesting
don't
question.
Really... Yeah.
I think she'd probably stay behind unless she like is desperate to get off the island.
I say leave her.
I'm leaning towards agreeing with you there.
Flint, give me an intrigue roll for you specifically.
Alrighty. Where are you, intrigue? There you are. That is a success.
All right. So, you know that she has been acting a little bit off ever since she found out this was happening. And I think without a full scene on it, I think you know that there's a part of her that doesn't feel like this is home.
Okay.
Here's what I think you know. So I'm trying to think of how to word this without it coming off wrong. She stuck around No, I'll do that. I think she stuck around, Flint. And you're starting to get the impression now. She stuck around because she's interested in your character. And she doesn't come out with that, but you start to get that impression.
Okay.
But when there's news of you guys going away and leaving, you get the sense that she keeps kind of talking about how nice it would be to be surrounded by Roman culture again. And she mentions the city of Soissons, and how much she would like to see that.
Well, I mean, I would probably confer with my brother and just say, hey, like, she really wants to come. Are you okay with, like, what do you think?
How do you feel?
Sounds good. And we'll have Dave here too, unless you guys would do this without Dave. We'll just say you're in the middle of organizing.
I'm not trying to do it secretly. So I don't know how I feel about that, to be quite honest.
Jealous comes to mind, but I'll let it go this time. I guess.
I was just rolling intrigue to see if I could if I kind of noticed the same.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently you did. Do you have intrigue ticked? Because you're low enough where you get it auto ticked otherwise. So you can tick it if you don't have it ticked.
Sure thing. I mean, are you sure it's the mainland that she wants to see?
Well, I don't know. I think he's been. I don't know how he feels. I just don't know how he feels about that, to be honest. And so I don't know. I don't want to. I would never want to say no to somebody just because I'm uncomfortable. If she wants to come and see it, then I have no problems with that.
Paul,
you keep in mind this isn't a sightseeing tour.
No, it's not. I totally get that. So that's why I'm asking you, like, what you think. If you think it best she stay behind, then I will obviously defer to that. I think I'm a little clouded.
I do feel it would be best for her to stay here.
Okay, then she stays.
We don't have the resources to babysit.
That's 100% fair.
For lack of a better word.
Yep, that's fair.
All right. What are we gonna do with Darren? So if we remove Darren, we will be missing any form of leadership from the hill.
Like I think we should send our little brother.
Okay. And is he going solo or is he pairing with Darren?
Darren's coming with us because I think Darren would be pissed if we took Mad Dog and not him to a fight.
All right. So we're sending little bro to his first sort of leadership position.
I think so.
Yeah, let's do it. Yep, I like that.
Maybe we could trade Tarrant for Granny.
You know what? That's one of the best ideas I've heard in a long time.
That's awesome. I like that, guys.
I'm okay with that.
All right, I'm just gonna make some notes here because I want to make sure that we have a confirmation of who our away party is and who's not. This group down here looks like it's your away party. Let me know if there's anyone that's not accurate for, but I think that's your full away party.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm just going to pull Tarrant, Mom, and the other sister and put them in the positions. Who's acting as garrison for, like, lead of your garrison for House of Kian? While you're away. The only one you can ask one of your servant houses to guard on your behalf, or you could apply Chris's character Tegwin to guard it.
Yeah, sure, that sounds like a plan.
Yeah,
Chris's character.
Teggy.
The reason why is because we do events and stuff. So if you guys happen to get raided, it's good to know who's there and what they're able to do.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I don't actually have an answer. I have no storyline event that you're gonna get raided, but we're gonna find out when you get back if you get raided.
So, yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
There's just nothing left.
Yeah.
At least we got Granny.
He's already dead.
Let me make you some bread, little one.
Yeah, look what happened, Granny. We had to come get you now. All our houses are gone. Thanks very much.
So, you guys generally don't have a lot of experience with travel, right? This is very new to you. But Marianus has a lot. He's a messenger, right? As long as he sticks to the Roman roads, he knows it. He would recommend for the journey to follow the road here, follow it down, and then you have a decision point to make. So we might as well make that before you leave. There are 2 places that you could leave from. Or technically, I guess 3. No, yeah, 3. 3 works. No, we're gonna go with 2. I changed my mind again. There is a place known as Carlion, and it's just due south of you. If you took Carlion, you'd have the least amount of land travel, because basically you got to get to a major like Roman city port to get anywhere, right? Or else you're dealing with even more coastline work. Like, I won't say there's only 2 options. You could go crazy, figure out your way through it. You guys could build your own damn boat, or you go into the mountains and get the mountain men to help you out. It is a role-playing game. You get to decide. The 2 easiest ways, and what the Roman messenger is recommending, is there's the city of Escavlon, the city of Carlion. It would make a fantastic limited land voyage. You'd be there in less than a week, or about a week, and then you could hug the coast, but you'd be traveling a very long time on the water, right? The other option is to go on the longer travel across the King's roads, or across the Roman road, to reach the city of Londinium. A much shorter boat voyage, but a much longer land voyage. And what you guys really don't have a good sense of, since everything fell apart at the beginning of this campaign, is what is the state of these other places, right? These places that you might travel through. Like, other tribes are there, but how are they doing? What are they doing? What are their political situations like? Are they on fire literally at the moment? Like, you don't have clarity around that. There's been a lot of intertribal warring and stuff, but you don't know the exact state of things. There's enough news that London still is around, and so is Carlion, so that's not like you're not going to end up at rubble there, but you don't really know what's the in between to either of those. If you choose to go the coastal way, you're on a boat much longer, so things could go awry, and there's also raiders coming in. There's Irish that are sailing this way from the west, and then there are picks in between. Yeah, it's a shit show, guys. Like, if we haven't established that, like, the former Roman land of Britannia is currently messy.
I'd say.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of an information dump overload. I rambled a bit. Let me know if you need a bit more of a TLDR on it, and I can give you like a 2-sentence thing if that was too much.
Well, thoughts, gentlemen?
I guess none of us really have experience with boats. On the one hand, it's intriguing, but on the other hand, I really like my horse. And
that's what I was thinking.
I much prefer traveling. I'm much more familiar with that, and I'm a much better horseman than I am a sailor.
I was wondering about that too. Like, how comfortable, Bob? Like, I know skill-wise, like, I have no boat experience whatsoever.
Everyone has like boating at like 1 still, right? Does anyone have it higher out of the 3?
Oh God, no.
Oh, I've got a 2.
You have just 2 boating?
Apparently.
Dave's an expert.
Yeah, I got this.
He doesn't sink immediately when he gets on a boat. Yeah.
That's right.
He's part of the pirate cavalry.
Oh boy. I saw a boat once from afar.
The pirate cavalry. He was the last one to drown.
Yeah.
They invented water polo.
Dave has a 2 rather than a 1 because he's actually seen a boat rather than just heard stories about them.
Yep.
Yeah. Tell us again, Dave. What were they like?
Floating dragons. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like it's unknown either way. Like, if we go to London, we could go through and get attacked by Picts and everyone in between. If we go on the boat, we could get attacked by Mix and everyone in between.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't think that's. I just think I'm kind of leaning toward what Dave had said, where it was like, we don't have a ton of experience
Yeah,
with boats. That's the only difference. So it would be like, well,
certainly. I mean, in a situation, if we got boarded, I'm sure our battle instincts would take over, but
sure,
we'd be utterly useless in any other situation.
totally.
Yeah,
And
I'm completely
assuming
fine with
it's the
riding
idea
to
that
London.
we okay, yeah, because the idea is that we would like be hiring a crew or something to take us, or like
Yeah,
Yeah, either or. You'd be hiring a boat crew. You don't have. You're nowhere near water, right? So you wouldn't have.
Yeah, so we just don't have those skills.
Mhm.
So we'd be hiring somebody. Which
Nor do
again,
you
that's
have a
fine.
boat that you own. So if 0 boats in
maybe
your
just like a little skin, like an animal skin, like little dinghy that you would use in a pond to fish or something, maybe. But
we're canoeing up.
yeah,
not anything that's going to cross the channel.
exactly. River boating would be probably the one boating you'd all be familiar with. It'd be for fishing or for navigating the great rivers of Britannia.
Right.
And
Well,
I'm down with riding to London and crossing there.
me too. That's gonna be my vote, actually.
Sounds good. I think that's from my character standpoint because he's really all about. He's a lover and a horseman, so I think he would definitely be more comfortable on land. He's intrigued about the thought of going over water, but perhaps a shorter boat ride will be better.
Agreed.
That's fair. So it sounds like we're good with London, right? Am I
I'd say
accurate
yes.
on that? Okay.
You are accurate.
And it might be a bit of an opportunity to get some recon as we travel through the other lands and see what the state of things are.
Yeah.
There is that.
We can
All right.
always run away.
Run away!
I can do that much better on a horse than I can a boat.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So you'll be passing through the House of Amhar and House of Griff. Let's give us a little marker here. Let me see if I have a flag. I do have a flag. Sweet.
Flags are good.
Right, so this is our starting point. We're gonna go through territory that we're very comfortable with. And the King's Road travels down. We're gonna go to lands unknown for the first time in a very long time. So, just comparing this here. Let's start with some general hunting rolls. Let's see how you guys do about keeping your stores up as you travel. Just need one success, or else things get a little dicey.
Just one.
A critical!
Oh, nice!
What the
Awesome.
hell?
Ticket.
Nice.
I get to dick hunting. Oh yeah. He's like the least. That's probably the least thing he's ever seen.
Yeah,
It must have. It would honestly be like a fluke.
Yeah, it's
You
one of
just
those
happen
things.
to see. Yeah.
You catch like a great stag, ends up being
Yeah.
a ton of meat. Yeah.
It's because
Yeah,
he's
it
less
was just
distracted, not looking at his reflection in the arrowhead.
Yeah, I was just thinking you're having to change your focus
Totally.
a little bit.
Like it would be something where I'm just like, oh, we have to do this, or whatever, or I just leave it to you guys. Then all of a sudden he just spots it.
All right. Okay, so with the 2, you guys are going to be good for the whole first part of your travel, basically, for the majority. So your stores are full right now. What you can carry is maxed out. And because you have such a big party, you're not riding fast, right? You probably have a pack horse that's keeping your goods for you. So you're riding at a slower pace, but faster than walking, and no one's tired in the process.
Good.
Yeah, so let's just see. Your first big destination is that, and that is... Okay. So you end up, after a little while, let me just fix this. You end up at the city of Corinium.
All right.
Now, if we go back to this map, and we're going to do either diplomacy or intrigue at this.
Well, I will definitely do an intrigue. Because I was going to say that's my jam, but that's literally it. Okay, diplomacy. No, intrigue.
Is this for like talking to the locals, or what is this for?
This is kind of for knowing the current state of the people that live in these lands, like what you know, what you've heard. You can also, guys, if you don't want to choose either of those, you can actually do a folklore, and that would be about talking to the commoners more so.
Okay, I did my intrigue, Bob.
Okay.
That's his thing. That's right up my alley. So.
Is anyone else making a roll?
Are we stopping at like local taverns and stuff on the way? Is that how we're kind of gathering this?
Stopping at inns probably if you're staying the night. You could certainly do that. There aren't a ton of them, right? But there's a couple. You'd also be passing through little settlements and stuff. So.
Okay. Could I make an argument for flirting up the locals at the tavern to try and get some information and kind of the news about what's going on in the area?
Yes, but I don't think these would be like the equivalent of peasants that you're interacting with. So,
okay.
Dave's character's just like,
you can take the flirting, but and just letting you know it's not. It's going to be like putting your own personal interests aside for that info. Like
right.
You're manipulating the situation versus just your natural flow of pretty lady. There's no pretty lady to in this scenario.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I will attempt to intrigue. I'm slightly distracted by the ladies, but not to the point of dropping so low. Okay then, I am intrigued successfully.
You are intrigued. Okay.
And sorry, does that mean I check intrigue? I can't remember if we auto do or if you have to tell us to.
So typically, it's if you're at a 1 to 5. So the fact you have a 6.
Okay.
No, but given this was an important one, I'll give you a tick. And same with Flint.
Okay.
Like this was when you call for a test. Sometimes it's not an auto one, but if I call for the test, it often is.
Right. Okay. Cool.
All right. So here's what you know. The year is 413. So the Dibunai is the land that you're going to be going through. And in this era, they seem to be largely divided amongst those in the north and those in the south. Those in Corinium and those that hold a place in the city of the former city of, or the land around the former Roman city of Bath. So you know you're also near very famous bathhouses. But if you go any further south, you're going to end up like going, like you need to go east from here, not south. So unfortunately, it's bad news. If you roll into Corinium, though, you find out that the city of Corinium has actually fallen, like the Roman government there has been overthrown. So the Dibunai are actually ruling that area right now.
Ooh.
That's kind of big news, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And was it Roman infrastructure here before? Or who was it that was?
Yeah, this is a Roman city.
The Romans,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's now taken over by the
Dibunai, which are like the Dibunai are like you guys compared to your Roman counterparts. Exact same kind of idea. The Dibunai are here. So,
Okay.
You also, I think, with Dave's role, because Dave was doing the flirty thingy, you find out that the Belgae or the Belgae people have been completely like dispersed this year. Their lands have been conquered by the Atreides, the Durotirges, and the Debunai, and like divided up amongst them. So the no Belgae, basically. Which means that trying to travel through Belgae lands would probably be not wise right now. Because they're probably quite lawless. So you're going to want to head probably through Atreides lands and then up from there to Londinium. And London, in case you wonder, if you follow, this river will take you all the way to London. And the road's not terribly far from the river. So you guys are making good headway, no major conflicts at this point, but the inter-tribal stuff has actually resulted in one of the tribes being eliminated. And as mentioned, the Cornovii or the Debunai have expanded their land significantly around Clarence. So,
Bob, do we know anything about the Debunai? Like just offhand, like what do we know?
Mm-hmm.
Like what do we?
Yeah, they're actually a group that you guys have had land disputes with, right? Given you literally are on each other's borders, not in your timelines, but in in unrecorded history of your people. You've heard great stories of they're like another proud people. There's a mutual respect. They're not underhanded. They don't really do sketchy things. They're a lot like how you place your Cornovii pride. They have a lot of pride in themselves as warriors and stuff. That's what you know about the Debunai. Yeah.
Okay, but we do also know we want to avoid them because there's just because the what did you call it? You used a word. Sorry, because they recently have taken this land.
Not the Debunai land. That's not what you need to avoid. Underneath them, there's the Belgae. They've had their land eliminated. Yeah, they've had their land eliminated. So if you look at the map, it's on the map here.
Yeah.
This land here has been eliminated. So your best bet is to go from here to here, and then over here to get to London.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's not bad. I mean, it's just, I mean, that's kind of a straight line. Well, sort of a straight line anyway, so that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Are you guys just doing a simple in Cornovii, or are you doing something more than staying at the inn?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I would just stay at the inn.
Keep it simple. Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're in our way, like maybe having a drink at night and just. I mean, I'm kind of like I've always got my ears sort of to the ground just in case, kind of thing. But I wouldn't go out of my way to leave the inn or anything like that.
I've also got my quote unquote ears to the ground, but more if there's the feminine specimens around that aren't, I guess, the pigsty ladies.
Dave, what's your lustful at?
How high can it go?
25.
Let's see. Yeah, it is at 16.
All right, you are for sure in the city here that you're at.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of tail, and you've had like a whole week of not having any access to women. So
excellent. You guys don't see my character for a while.
Understood. Yeah, you don't even have to test
don't see
that.
my character.
Page me when you're ready to roll.
Ever. So I think it's one of those things where you end up seeing within like 30 minutes Corin is walking off with one
Corin?
of the local and this is much like this city you guys are around too. Like there are a lot of Romans still in this city, but they're like under the control of the Debunai. Like
yeah.
But
I don't think that would be like, honestly, from what we know of Corin, like that would not be out of the ordinary for him.
Usual business. 100%.
Yeah.
Right? So we're not going to be like, oh, where is he? We'll be like, I know where he went.
Yeah. And we'll just solidify that with you see him leave with a beautiful lady. So
Yeah. So Kian and I, we would just have a drink and sit in the inn and be like, well, he'll show up when he shows up.
Okay.
Just listen to people talk.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of randomness here. Let's see what the big buzz is about, because you all succeeded at intrigue, so we'll give you this. Give me a d20, somebody. Let's assign this. We'll go with Flint to give me a d20 first.
D20?
Yeah.
14.
Okay. Paul, give me a d20.
5.
Okay. There is a guard, right? That's like posted at the inn, right? Given the state of things, you can tell it must be having some problems here. All of a sudden, as you guys are kind of keeping an eye out and watching, you see the guard falls to the ground and begins to convulse. Just topples over, pulls on something, and it shatters glass, and he lands really hard with a thud on the ground and starts to convulse.
I'll whisper to my brother, that doesn't look good.
No. And we didn't see anything else at Bob, just other than him just falling to the ground suddenly?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Shit. How far away is he? Is he...
He's across the room. You'd probably have to get up. And there are a couple people that have stood, but no one's kind of going over at this point.
Let's just wait and see.
Yeah, I want to go over, but I'm just gonna... Yeah, I like that idea. Just wait, and we'll see if somebody does move.
Okay. One of the...
Yeah.
Okay, as you guys stand on the side, one of the a young lady comes out from the back. She's probably early 20s, 20, 21. And she looks like she's hard at work. And she looks around at everyone, and she actually catches your eyes too. And there's a look of frustration in her, and she shouts or not shouts, but she just says to the whole place, isn't someone gonna help this man? And then with that, she walks over to do it herself. Very clearly, she sets some warm food down. She's clearly one of the... It's very bold of her too, by the way, for her to say that when she's clearly not of the noble blood that you guys are, let alone any of these other guests. Who knows what kind of dangerous people are in here. But it's either reckless or brave, one of the two. But she wanders over and starts to examine him. And she says, so she'd be a local Cymric too. She's like, by the gods, he's been poisoned.
My God, yeah. We all have first aid, eh? We could go over and see.
What's your level at it?
10.
Yeah, you're good at it. You're proficient at it.
It's not amazing, but
yeah.
I'll just look to Key and I'll be like, thoughts, brother? Should we help? Should we do something?
If you must, I'll watch your back.
Yeah, I'll go over, Bob.
All right, cool. What I need from you is a first aid test.
Oh shit! By 1 fucking point.
Yeah.
So close.
I'll I'll say to her, I'll say, this is. I'm sorry, but this seems to be beyond my skill.
You
I'm
see,
not
like
sure how I can help it.
this purplish black like ooze like drilling out of his mouth. At first, you think it's blood, but as it comes out, it's just too discolored to be blood, and it's actually kind of coming out of like his other orifices too, like his ears and his eyes.
Oh my god! I'll be like, I'm sorry, miss, but this is making me really uncomfortable. I'm gonna go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, I'm like, okay. But yeah, you slave away, and then you watch him kind of. You're at a loss, and I think it's the first time where you're like, maybe you've ever seen someone be poisoned like this and die.
That's what I was thinking. Like just right outside of my experience. And okay, yeah, that's not cool. So when she said, Bob, if I can recall, when she said this man's been poisoned, was he showing any signs? Like, how did she know?
You were too far away to really see, but you're assuming. Okay. Well, first off, let's test trusting versus suspicious.
Okay, let's do that. Trusting versus suspicious. So what do I roll? Either one? No, I would say I'm suspicious of her.
Okay.
Failed.
Alrighty. So in this case, we'll give you a tick on trusting, and then I'm gonna get you to do like a test on valorous.
That I succeeded.
Okay. If not, you were gonna have a bit of like I wouldn't say like a fear of poison, but you know what I mean? Like there would be a minor thing to it where it's like, normally I'm valorous, but when it comes to like poison, like seeing the way that man died is like, I don't ever want to die that way. Like, you know, I'll die by a sword, but not by choking to death on something.
And having all those things come out of me. That's not cool.
Yeah. She looks to you, Flynn, and she says, I really appreciate that. At least someone was willing to help.
Thank you, my lady, but I'm afraid that my help didn't do much.
It's not doing much good.
It's not doing much good. Not doing much good.
Sorry, I had to make that reference.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, I'm just gonna bring something over on the Transmorgify. Give me another D20, Flint. Dave, we're gonna get one real quick from you too.
That's a whopping 3.
Let me just pull something over for us, gang. So she introduced herself as Nia.
Nia.
And you rolled a 3. She says, my name is Nia. I appreciate what you did. I know I don't look like much right now, but my husband is the head of this town, at least right now, given the change in landscape. Basically, you're like, oh, so your husband was involved in overthrowing this, basically. Right?
Yeah, basically, that's totally what I was just thinking. Yeah. Ooh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And married. I don't want to talk to her now.
Right? Yeah. So
anyway, okay.
Yeah.
I'll just basically say well met, and I'll introduce myself.
Okay.
I'll tell her the same thing though, first name only.
I think leave it at that. It doesn't end up being any more than that.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave, did you give me a d20 yet? If not, go ahead and roll.
I'll do that right now. 4.
Okay. So you end up with this lady, and you end up with her till probably like just before sunset. Or sorry, just before sunrise. And then she gets up and it starts to scramble.
She's got a husband.
Yeah, I haven't not seen this before, but
It's true.
yeah.
You also are very comfortable in your homelands with what the repercussions might look like.
Yes.
You always have the backing of your family.
Right. Okay.
Really efficient.
I'll maybe start getting myself ready to leave as well if she's taken off, and if I don't have all my my friendly muscle nearby, then I might need to make the valorous decision of jetting as well.
Okay.
Look at the time.
Right? So we should give her a name too. Maliri.
Maliri.
Yeah.
Thanks for the lovely evening, Maliri.
So we're just gonna give them the best thing about this game is it actually has an appearance mechanic. You don't have to invent one. So for Flint, the lady earlier, Nia, just a 12, nothing crazy.
Okay.
For Maliri, however, 10. No, she was just okay. Yeah. Hold on. No, I'm doing that wrong. That's why. Let's try again. Let's do it again. It's supposed to be 3d6 plus 6 is what it's supposed to be. Okay, Nia was a 20. Flint.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Maliri was an 18. Which is, they're pretty, but they're not the most beautiful women you've ever seen.
I'm not picky, but I have some standards, mostly. Sort of.
So, her name's Maliri. You got that much when you were flirting with her. Actually, did you? Let's make a flirt roll. Obviously, you were successful, but let's see if you actually were successful at
the word stuff.
Yeah. Okay, you were.
Yeah.
You hear a deep voice you're not familiar with as she leaves the room. You hear, Maliri? What do you want to do?
I'm heading
Going
out the window.
Are you going out the window?
I'm going out the window.
Okay.
You're like, is there a flee option?
There's only inside wall. Sorry.
Okay. I'm just gonna take a dex roll from you.
All right. Okay. So just click on that. Okay.
Oh man.
No!
It's one of those scenes where you go and you're like, you go to like parkour out the window, but you manage to like lose your grip on the outside, so you end up plummeting down. You're just on the second story, right? But you end up plummeting down.
So good.
Give me a 2d6 roll, Dave.
All right.
I shouldn't make you roll your own damage. You had really bad luck with that in another PMC.
It's not max.
Yeah.
Not max.
Okay.
It's only an 11.
So
roll your own damage. Flashback City.
All you have to do.
You jumped out the window, Dave, and you landed in a spike pit.
That a scorpion?
Like, wait a minute.
You go out the window quick because you could hear footsteps moving quickly towards the door. And as you did so, you didn't realize that there was a small little wooden structure underneath where they like sell goods and stuff. And you actually go crashing through it. It makes all this ruckus at night. We're going to give Flint and Paul, we're going to give you an energetic test and then an awareness test. You have to pass the energetic test to even have the awareness test. If you're famous energetic at 16, you just automatically pass.
I fumbled.
Oh, you're sleeping good.
Yeah, I'm just sawing logs.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dun, 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 dun.
Paul, you succeed. What do you want to do about this noise, Kian?
Wake me up.
I'm just gonna slowly like gather my stuff and kick my brother's leg. Like, well, looks like we're on the way out.
What? Oh, I was having the most marvelous dream.
I'm sure you were, but I think Corin needs us.
Oh God. Okay, let's go.
I just carry a whistle for these situations. They just know the whistle.
Except one of us gave it to him, and we didn't tell him that was a dog whistle.
Or I was gonna say it's like a dog whistle. It's high pitched, but only the two of us can hear it.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, Dave, as a result, what are you gonna do? So you crashed through. So any attempt to be like, I wasn't there in the first place is gone, because this guy would have most certainly heard someone going out the window and crashing down below.
Yep.
What is in those immediate moments thereafter, what are you going to do? So you climb back to your feet. You've taken 11 damage, which is ouch, honestly. Like, that's not a fun one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where'd I put that down?
Under your health.
Yeah. So I've got current hit points is 20. Oh, yeah. So total hit points, I'll change it my current. And it comes right off my HP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we are at... All right. I am, and it's evening time. So is it like bustling streets and stuff, or is it pretty?
No, it's not evening time. It was early in the morning. It was after.
Oh, right.
Just before it's sunrise. I messed up on the bit there, but I did fix it. So yeah, it's like literally just before the sun would come up.
Okay. And there are like his buddy. Has he come outside because he heard the ruckus? Or?
Not
okay.
Yet. These are in the moments before he does, so I need to
know,
like, what you're
okay.
Planning.
I'm just gonna get I'm gonna look around and see if there's any like alleys nearby, or is it pretty light out right now?
It's not late yet. Will be probably in a matter of minutes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just try and get out of Dodge. I'm gonna try and extricate myself from the wreckage here, and in my best attempt, try and take off in the direction of the inn where my cousins were staying.
Okay, so you're just looking to flee then, basically at that point, right?
Yeah, just kind of like,
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. So your leg is a little injured, right? Coming off of this with that fumble. We're gonna give you a strength roll -5 for this one.
Okay. So I'm at 12. So strength roll -5. I failed.
Oh no. Okay. So the consequences of this is he's going to be able to trail you. And you see a man quite large, dressed in what you would call like finer Kimri robes and stuff, like finer Kimri clothing. So something like you'd expect Kian to wear, or something like that, right? In his position, he seems to be like, he's not running, he's just walking briskly in your direction as you try to clear the distance, but it's just too open. You have nothing to hide behind, and you couldn't move fast enough. So I think you're gonna get to, as you get to where Kian and Gwyn are, they're up and about already, but not your full party is probably not, right? So what do you guys want to do in these moments? Maybe we'll just have you guys interact real quick to figure out what you want to do in this minute.
Do we see him?
Well, yeah, you see Corin like moving like with a limp towards you guys, and you see a man, real chest puffed out, kind of walking in kind of a storming way towards him. but off in the
Does
distance.
the man look like he has seen Corin,
Yeah, he
or
seems like
just looking?
seems like he's pursuing Corin.
Okay. Um,
I'm just gonna yell out to Corin. I'm just gonna go, Corin. I asked you to get the horses an hour ago. What have you been doing? Come on now.
That's just
Always in the pub drinking. You can barely walk.
a terrible misunderstanding. Terrible misunderstanding. A little bit too much to drink, and I thought it was going to be a great view of the sunset if I could climb to the second level and watch it rise from there. But in my drunken stupor, I lost my footing and fell. Not my most
So it's
dignified
always
fall.
something with you, isn't it? Good God.
Maliri is famously lustful, and as a result, this guy has a suspicion of her at 2. So we're gonna start. We're gonna do a contest here. I think we'll give it to all 3 of you. Chimed in, did you not, on that whole story, or was that led by Kian and Corin?
no, that was led by Kian. Yeah, I'm just shaking my head, kind of agreeing with him. Like he's taking the lead, which is fine with me.
You know what this is going to be? I think Kian's part comes off well enough. I think this is down to Corin. So Corin, you're going to have to make a contested roll here against his suspicion. Normally it would be a 10, but for his wife it's a 12.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fair.
What am I rolling?
I think you're making a I'll give you 2 options. You can either just make another flat intrigue roll, or you can make a at a risk, you can make a what's it called? Honest, not honest roll, a deceitful roll, and if you fail the deceitful roll, you get a -5. But if you succeed the deceitful roll, you get a +5. The upcoming roll. So it's up to you on whether you.
Well, let's just see. So the first option was an intrigue.
The first option is just a flat intrigue. The other option is to test your traits to get a bonus on your intrigue.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's I'll try it. I'm not that deceitful, but let me just think. My intrigue's only a 6 anyway. We're going for it. We're going all in.
You might as well.
And just a flat roll on the deceitful, right?
Yes.
I fail.
All right, good sir. You have the -5 to your intrigue roll.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm a 1. I think. What did I say I was before? Yeah, I'm a 1. Okay, so -5. Perfect.
Oh boy.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I got this.
He can always fail his roll too. That is a potential. Okay, you fail yours.
Yep.
He fails his.
Okay.
Is he close enough, Bob?
Yeah, he's approached now at this point. Yeah.
He's approached?
Yeah.
Good morning, good sir.
Morning.
I'm wondering if you could help me. And I'm gonna put my arm around him, Bob. Like if he resists, that's fine. But I'm gonna kind of put my arm around him and sort of walk away from the 2 of them and see if he bites. And look, what does he look like? What kind of man does he look like? Is he a laborer? I mean, obviously he's a commoner.
No, he's dressed. He's dressed like Kian is. Like yeah,
he's like a noble type dude.
Yeah, like a noble Celtic dude.
A noble Celtic dude.
I know how to pick him.
You really do. Okay, I'll just walk up to him then. I'll say good morning, and I'll be like, I'm wondering if I could beg your service. I just have a question. We're new in town.
Give me a courtesy test.
Oh, and I don't know whether this comes into play, but one of my distinctive features is I have charming speech.
Okay. What's your orate?
Not fantastic. It's 3. It's something I'm gonna boost eventually. Like he wants to be able to, especially with intrigue and stuff. But so what am I doing?
You're a bit of a charmer, so we'll just give you a +2 to this. I'll allow it.
To the courtesy?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
I'm just gonna test him again. Oh, okay. So he says that's great, but I have questions for your friend first. Like, what was he doing in the inn with my wife?
Sorry, were you saying, David? I don't want to cut you off.
Oh no, I wasn't sure. Is he addressing me directly, or is he talking to?
There's a 3 of you together, kind of. So he doesn't. I think he's trying to get a sense for. He's impassioned, I think, at this point about this.
I'll answer him. I'll say I'm not sure he was directly with your wife. As my brother has said, he has a little problem. I'll start whispering at this point. Has a little problem with the drink, and has hurt himself on many occasions being very intoxicated. So if he happened to be in the same place as your wife, I'm sure he made an ass of himself to her as well.
Make an intrigue test. Okay. That beats his suspicious. But there's one part that's not lining up for him well, and you can tell that there's some kind of gap in the story. Like,
sure.
I'm naked in the street.
He tends to get intoxicated and then shed all his clothes and run around like a fool.
Yeah, the part I think for Dave, you just know inherently, like you crashed through a structure so unless you fell from the sky, you were for sure in that building. So I think if you're gonna try and attempt any sort of lie here, Dave, you've gotta come up with an excuse for that piece, because that's definitely what he's hung up on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. He didn't buy the drunken looking at the sunset from the roof part.
From the roof? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's what I said. I had gotten drunk and I had climbed up onto the part of the roof so I could watch the beauty of the sunrise, and lost my footing because I was intoxicated and fell into the structure.
I'll give you an intrigue test, and I'm gonna give you the same option to test deceitful with the +5.
I'm all in. At this point. Yeah. Carry on.
well, you still get to do the intrigue -5.
Okay, it's only a 1 then. Okay.
You never know.
Stranger things have happened.
Here comes a crit. Oh, so close.
Pretty close. Close.
I'm almost convincing. Or no, almost intrigued.
He says, what is your name? He says to Corin, looking right at him. And there's a sense of, no, he didn't buy it when he says that.
I'm trying to think of how I should do. We're going through these areas where he's kind of a noble type guy.
What's the dude that's stuffing your mom?
I pull a name from our homeland of like one of the random neighbors or one of the distant.
Okay. You're gonna be like, not me.
I just panicked at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Of course.
We'll give you one more test on deceitful here.
Okay, we're going.
See how well you sell it. This time it won't be intrigue, just deceitful. Okay,
there we go.
You go up automatically 1 point in deceitful.
Okay. So I just up it. I don't tick it. Okay.
Yeah. Up it to 9. Down your.
And then down. Okay.
Honest to.
Okay.
11. And then what's your honor?
Honor is looking. Is that one of the personality traits?
Where is honor?
Passions underneath the
Oh,
It's under
valorous
passions,
enthusiasm.
passions. Oh, okay, 11.
It's 10 now.
Okay,
Um,
makes sense.
and he says, one sec, I'm just gonna roll this for the lulz. Give me a sec.
Duden.
Tudor.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That sounds.
He says,
Tudor.
he says, then I'll see you again, tutor of the Cilliers. So that he has a vengeance towards tutor of the Cilliers, who doesn't exist.
Good lord.
Or at
Does
least,
he just does he just turn and leave now, Bob? Or
yeah. I mean, it's a situation not fully proven. I think with the three you hear, none of you backing down, he realizes he's alone.
that's true. Yeah, if he presses, it might not go well.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Tudor, nice going. Let's get out of
Yeah, I
here.
turn around
Let's
like,
make
yes.
haste.
Well, cousins, I think this is a good time to depart.
One bit
Agreed.
first is you're gonna want to get some first aid on that. One, so you can get some health back. Two, so you're not suffering greater.
Yeah.
Who amongst the party?
I have a 10.
I also have a 10.
You can't first aid yourself in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know it's weird, but you can't.
Can we do I was just gonna say, is there a thing in this game where you can aid someone and help?
Because they're
Or
not
is it
under
just-
duress, I think you can both. So you just roll, because you both have 10. You can roll yours, Flint.
I got it.
The two of you, it's just he has like a he has a bit of
I'm
a
like, quit
sprain.
squirming.
Yeah. It's
It hurts! It hurts! There's
I
splinters
squeeze it
everywhere.
harder.
Give me a D3 roll, Flint, and this is how much. health he
I'm
has.
literally gonna say it hurts. It hurts. I'm gonna be like, well, you're not poisoned and bleeding out your ass and your ears and your eyes.
I look
D3?
at him like, why
Yeah.
would you even say that? That sounds horrible.
A D3. Where is a D3? Can I?
Use a
D6 might
D6.
divide by 2.
Yeah.
I'll just go D6. Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Dave, you get 3 health back
Okay.
over the course
Excellent.
of the day. It's not like instantaneous healing or anything, but
Well, cousins, that's it. I have officially sworn off women for the remainder of the morning. Let's depart.
Thank
Man,
goodness.
that hurts. Where's my horse?
okay. Here's a question for Dave. Did Corin learn a lesson there about being more careful, or is it more like live and let live? I'll forget about this by the morrow kind of thing.
Wait, I know
did-
the answer.
I did learn to get more deceitful. To be better deceitful at this. It's not gonna not happen again in the future. So
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, I need to be better at covering this up.
I guess I gotta work on my skills of getting out of situations like that, because that's probably not going to be the last time. That's the first time it's happened in unfamiliar territory where I could have gotten myself in major trouble. But
Okay.
I don't think he learned a lasting lesson other than learning he needed to be more deceitful about it, or more discreet about it next time.
I'm gonna give the following ticks away to people. Kian, you can tick love family for that. Flint, I'm gonna give you a tick on first aid for Quinn, and then Corin, you get a tick on intrigue, and a tick on reckless, and a tick on lustful.
Okay, intrigue and lustful and reckless. Perfect. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I think the thought with the tick on reckless is Corin's more concerned about being more skilled so he can get out of those situations versus focusing on
100%
how am I more careful about not getting into those. So yeah.
I devise a questionnaire now whenever I schmooze a lady. Number 1, are you married? Number 2, how far away is your husband currently?
How
Are
many
you married?
feet?
Yes. Number 2, is it serious?
Is he big? Yeah.
Does it change
Okay.
anything Corin does after? No, he just asks those questions now.
Yeah, carry on.
Okay,
You
guys,
passed the test.
we have survived the city of Corinium. Let us continue.
Get steady! It's only gonna get better.
All right, on the road we go. I'm gonna get a general. Nope, we don't need the hunting test yet. We said that. So what I'm gonna get instead is I need a D20 from each of you. Whatever order they come in is fine.
I got a 20.
Nice.
Okay. So we managed to pass from the city of Corinium to the city of Barbary. And the weather's beautiful on this part of the trip. Everything seems to be going well. With the 20, we're going to say that we pass a Sunday. So anyone who's injured, you get your healing rate back ×1. So Dave, you get another, whatever your healing rate says on your sheet. Should be like a 2 or a 3 or a 4, depending on what you have.
2. Okay, 2. So I get 2 more back then? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Correct. And what might be, because it's a 20, I want to reward that. It is kind of a crit in this game, or a fumble, but this wasn't a fumble possibility. What do you think in this case? Who rolled the 20?
Me.
You. Okay.
Yeah.
So on day 1, Flint, what do you think? What other kind of thing would specifically your character Gwyn be interested in? What would be something while passing through a dense forest trail? What would have, or I guess it's the main road, right? But it kind of narrows to a trail through the forest. What would be of interest to Gwyn? Like, what would have been something in this setting that would have been really meaningful to him?
Oh,
I know it's a tough question towards the end of the night.
I think mostly it's tough just because I'm not sure if I even know the answer to that. Like what would Gwyn really be like? I mean, ideally it'd be like, hey, look, I see my reflection. But what I think it would be maybe something that does maybe give him hope, like some sort of hopeful. Maybe a sign, or maybe a rare animal or a rare creature, something that he just says, what were the chances? So if that was rare, maybe I do have some hope left.
Okay.
Something like that. I'm spitballing here.
I gotcha. I know what it is.
Oh, excellent.
Flint's gonna auto get this for Kian and Gwyn. Give me a quick awareness test.
Ian and Corin, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Gwyn's good already. Or Corin, sorry. Yes, Gwyn's good. Kian and Corin are not. They need a test, okay. And that's both Paul and Dave. In the distance, you see an animal pass on the path. It goes from one side to the other. All of you get a good look at it. It's a unicorn.
Whoa.
Super fucking rare. You've heard stories, but as far as you know, they were just like people saying things, but you saw it. It's majestic horn. Everything about it absolutely exists. And I think, you've hunted a mythical beast before, but these things aren't, the stories of unicorn, it's not necessarily hunting and eating it. just the sight of something like that, they're just an animal that's meant to bring things like hope and stuff like that, right?
Just pure majestic animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're more like
Yeah.
your jaw drop and you're not even thinking about shooting it.
Yeah. 100%. So, I'm curious on this one. Let me just see. I want to see what else this would be. Okay. All of you may test spiritual +5 right now.
I fucking failed it.
Even with that, you know,
even with a 5.
Yeah, we'll give. I had said previously, Flint, that you're just auto passing this one anyway, so I don't think you need to test. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was like, what are the fucking chances?
Those high rolls in D&D don't work in this game.
No, apparently not.
Okay, so the passing it, first and foremost, everyone gets a tick on spiritual, whether you want it or not. You, in this moment of inspiration, your highest passion automatically goes up by 1.
Nice.
Your highest passion.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're
even? You may choose.
Yeah, I may choose.
Mm-hmm.
What's hospitality? Is it just general hospitality?
Yeah, it's like looking. So it goes a little bit beyond hospitality. It's an actual, like, you know, if you were high in it, you consider it like. So the thing in the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones would be like the worst thing in the world, not just because they betrayed them in a cowardly way, but because it breaks the laws of hospitality. It's like that means a lot to you. That the idea of I'm seeking your refuge and you're giving me your word, and that bond between the host and the guest is super important to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hospitality is high, but so is my loyalty to my lord, which is Kian. So I'm gonna raise my loyalty up.
Okay.
I think hospitality, I like that idea, but I just don't think
it's not going to be what he's
super important for him. Like, it's already fairly high, but I know that him and Kian have really bonded over this last bit. So
that makes sense.
That was kind of my thought too. And we're here with our brothers by blood, and seeing this magical thing. I'm bumping love family.
My love family went up between the unicorn and just having my butt saved by my 2 family members. It all works out. I also I like soak in every detail and kind of like this is definitely orate and song worthy. So I try to take it all in to kind of describe and kind of turn it into a ballad or story.
That makes sense. And since you all tested spiritual with a success, we'll take a couple more skills. I want you to take religion pagan.
Okay, so we have to add in the pagan part?
Or you're not testing, you're just taking it.
Oh, just taking it. Okay, because I have religion and religion name blank. So
so do I.
Religion, you should type in the word pagan next to that. Pagan, it's whatever your religion is. That's automatically what you are.
Okay, and then ticket.
Ticket, yeah.
Okay.
And then it's gonna inspire one of the things for you. You can take orate or compose. Like you're gonna either like tell a story or you're going to like you're going to put together some sort of rhyme about this. If you want to forfeit that one, if you don't see that being your character, you can forfeit that one.
And again,
did you say raise or it's a tick?
It's a tick.
Okay.
But because it's so low, it's almost for sure.
Yeah, my compose.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'll do it in my compose so I can start bringing that up. It's only a 3.
And then the very last thing that you're going to tick out of that group is fairy lore.
Okay.
What if it's already ticked?
Shouldn't be. This is session 1 of this year. We did
Oh,
winter
right,
phase
right,
last
right,
year.
right. Yes, we did.
Right, you had fairy lore from your reflective experience.
I sure did. All right.
Cool. All right, guys. So as we continue on with the journey, things go well, really smooth for that last bit. But as we continue on, we pass through some mountains, and I need awareness tests from everybody.
I cannot. I can't.
The highest skill
18.
too. Yeah.
That's 18. It's a high skill, and I'm still rolling higher.
You're still caught
Good
up on the
lord.
reflection.
Yeah, maybe I'm just deep in thought, thinking about other something. Probably around that.
All right. We're gonna wrap here. But ultimately, before we go, actually, let's see what this is. Who rolled?
The band of
Who
cave
rolled the
trolls.
second roll? Dave.
I
Dave,
got a
give-
5 success.
Give me a D20, Dave.
20. 12.
Okay. As we close on a cliffhanger, you see something emerge ahead of you on the road from a great distance. I don't think any of you have ever seen this before. You see this thing almost 12 feet height.
Oof.
It's a giant.
Oh, jeez.
Fantastic.
It has 3 eyes.
Oof.
Cyclone or what is that thing?
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. 3 eyes.
Triclops.
Triclops.
it's almost like one of its eyes is split in two to make 2 eyes. And it's about 15 paces in front of you at this point, as it comes out from a tree line in the dense forest path, or the dense hill path, and it moves to intercept your way, and will close on a to be continued, guys.
Ride her down, Dave.
Jeez. In the other direction.
Okay, everybody, just
Me wants
calm,
snoo.
easy. Yeah,
Take one for the team.
you turn around. Yeah, everybody's gone.
Oh,
All right, guys. Well, I hope you had fun. It was nice to get back in a little bit.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah. I love the little bit about I didn't plan for Dave's scenario, but it just kind of played itself out.
That's totally exactly what I picture for my. It's like he's the bard getting himself into those situations, and just that totally fits.
Yeah.
I know and hilarity ensued.
Those are fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Those are fun. Those are fun things to play through.
Absolutely. So we'll be back again soon with this game.